Alright guys, so doing the last minute clan battle update for you guys. So there we have it. So this is going to be my squad that I'm able to get a casual 20k on this specific run. How ironic when you are using, let's say, Victory 2, it does not really amount to that nearly the same. It's not as impactful as using GPU2. Very, very unfortunate because of how things has been for Global versus JP. The biggest saving grace for this unit is the fact that Global has the transcendent skill, while JP, when they had the whole clan battle, GPO2 does not have its transcendent skill. So the main factor is having this right here. Right, you have that damage increase up to 200,000. That's very important because every time you pop EX skill, you're not getting damage caps. So instead of hitting 99k, for example, you're hitting up to 299k. So that's really important. So even for a P1, I think, or P0, I think you can safely scrape by. But if you have it at like P2 or P3, you are at a very sweet spot, because even at P5, you are easily hitting damage caps, so you are losing out on potential damage. So as far as pilot option, what people are using, especially like the top, ranking players, they are using a Christina Mackenzie, because she allows you to actually get an extra EXQ gauge recovery. So I don't own her obviously, but I can show you guys what she does. So where is she? Ah, there she is right here. So she gives you, for successor unit, she gives you an increased EX skill gauge recovery by 18%. That 18% is very, very impactful because that allows you to get an extra rotation of EX skill in. So that is going to allow you to probably get in another 1500 to 3000 score on top of what you already have, right? And what players are also doing with their unit enhancement, they're also increasing their EXQ gauge recovery on this one over here. I have an extra 15% and I have an extra 14% on the third weapon. So if you include the extra 18%, so you pretty much add 18% on this right here, because on base you have a 48%, and then you add in an extra 18, and then you add in an extra however many on your specific weapon, it gets crazier. So I'm kind of done talking. I'm gonna show you guys how this actually works, and then we're probably gonna go through a few attempts, because honestly speaking, one attempt is not gonna get you the perfect score. You probably have to do like a few to kind of get like a benchmark, because sometimes you do bad, sometimes you do really good. So I'm gonna jump in and then we'll see. Alright, so we are in, and I'm just gonna put every unit in the backline, and that should be fine. And the main key you should be aware of is that you actually have to have GPU2 as the lowest HP on the squad if you're running anything other than that, because all the unit are going to focus on the lowest HP unit that you have. So every tanks that I have, because like GPU2 is a tank, so it could be very hard to play around with. So that's why I'm just bringing some extra tanks to help me alleviate that problem. The other tanks like Penelope, Concede, and then DO, they're not really going to contribute anything. They're probably going to be contributing 1% of the over scoring, but an extra 1%, I'll take it. Why wouldn't I? And then for Unicorn does have a nice ability of just getting up to a 48% increased HP. So that's nearly double what everyone has on the team. So I mean, that should suffice the HP restriction. So once we hop in, you guys can see that every single unit are just gonna home into GPU2, which is right in the center right there. So that's why I had to use what I had. So let's kind of home in and see what's going on. So EX skill damage we should start trickling EXQ once we head down to like around 48 seconds if possible. And I think this is actually a fairly slow rotation, so I think I might have done something to the squad that I shouldn't have. Oh, I'm doing it at 1x speed, so that's why it's really slow. But yeah, let's see what kind of run we're getting. I don't think this is going to be our fastest run actually, or our best scoring actually. Let's kind of see. Okay, 19.1k, so that's not good enough. If you want to place into like anywhere within the top 100, for example, I think your safest bet is to land on anything that's at least 22k or above to secure a spot. I land a triple 21k, and I'm still at like a good but low 100. So that's why I'm like, man, I'm kind of washed, honestly. Like every climb battle thus far now, I haven't been really doing that best. So I'm not really sure how I feel about moving forward, but I think I'm kind of content with it. Honestly, I'm only losing out like a good 200 rainbow coins. I can live with that easily. But for some people, the climb battle is probably like the most important thing possible, because that's kind of like the way for you guys to kind of gain some extra rainbow points. So I definitely understand that. But yeah, let's kind of see how we doing in this run. So 19k seems to what I usually get into. It really depends on how much attacks we're getting in from the unit, because that's kind of like a way for us to charge up the EXQ gauge. So you guys can see that very last split seconds, if we had faster EXQ recovery, we simply could have charged up another EXQ. So that's the problem with having this non-existent EXQ gauge recovery. That initial 48% is not good enough. Like, we needed more. And what it's offering from the weapon is not nearly enough, because we have to hit to gain that. And I wouldn't say we're hitting the target all that often. So having an extra 18% from the pilot, man, that would help for sure. So this is gonna be the last attempt that we're running, because obviously I think 19k is probably what I'm landing the most. So I'm not gonna do any more attempts. I think I'm kind of content anyway. Like I think that's kind of it. Like, yeah. Had I had one copy for GPU2, I think we could have been better. I think if we could have maxed it out, like maxed out the damage cap at what, 299k, it would have been good. But I mean, I couldn't put extra copy it off. So definitely an L on my part. And yeah, let's kind of see how we did in this one, and then we're gonna hop out. I'm gonna show you guys currently my ranking. Let's gonna see what did we get in this one. I feel like 19k again. I want to say, yeah, 19.3. So we keep getting better and better. So this is just to show you guys that you have to do multiple attempts to see what the best timer you can get, because all of them are different. All right, so let's kind of get out of here. All right, so let's see. For clan wise, we are ranked 16 for this one, and then for overall, yeah, this is what I am looking at. So 107. So I'm not going to count in any potential cheater, because I don't think there's any for this specific month. So yeah, like if you guys can see top rankers, like these are all legit. Like I face them in arena like on a daily basis, so I know they're all valid. So 87k. All right, 87k, that's crazy. So they must be clocking it at least closing into 30k a pop. All right, to get to that. So I don't know, man. Like this week is this is another month where like I feel like I'm just very washed. Like, I have the unit, but I'm just not prepared for them. So but there you guys have it. So this is the kind of like the old, like the final overview of the 10th climb battle, and I'll be catching you guys on the next one.